Beneath the spreading chestnut tree, the village smithy stands. When the first settlers arrived, much of northeastern America stood beneath majestic white pines and hemlocks, along with those chestnuts and other hardwoods. For those early settlers arriving from a deforested Europe, where any timber cutting was strictly controlled, America must have seemed like a land of endless timber. The white pines, hemlocks, chestnuts, and oaks stretched in majestic glory as far as the eye could see, a veritable shoulder-to-shoulder source of building material. And a source that was used for cabins, houses, rafts and boats, wharves and bridges, seagoing vessels, railroad construction, until problems started to mount. Hardwoods are not clumped for easy harvesting and not shaped for easy processing. Timber harvesters had to go further and further inland as the local timber supply diminished. Extensive searches for just the right tree, only 1 in 10,000 was suitable for the main mast of a man-of-war, raised the price of hardwoods dramatically. But perhaps the biggest problem was one of physics. Inland harvesting required that the cut timber be shipped to the port cities, the then manufacturing centers. Rivers and lakes were the available superhighways. But, alas, raw hardwood doesn't float well. The harvesting of softwoods increased in answer to the growing demand for building materials by a developing nation. As this harvesting continued, the general acceptance of softwoods as building materials became widespread. And when building codes that dealt with construction characteristics were introduced, they naturally dealt with values built around the common building materials, the softwoods. That trend has continued through modern times at a point where nearly all construction-type lumber is softwood. This relegated hardwoods to uses where appearance, strength, and aesthetics were of key importance. Floors, tables, chairs, doors, architectural millwork. But things are changing. After the virgin timber was harvested, by accident or by nature, we have been blessed with a second generation of quality hardwoods. A second generation in such abundant supply that its utilization is well below what it should be. Hardwood, anyone? Northeastern hardwoods with a potential value running into the millions of dollars. Millions of dollars and thousands of jobs. Jobs in transport, fabricating, and treating raw material, designing structures, supplying, contracting, constructing, all using northeastern American hardwoods, a product known worldwide for its quality, a quality that is now being looked at for other applications. Applications that can directly affect the economy of the Northeast. First, if we elect to use hardwoods, what kind of construction quality can we expect? Various hardwoods were tested in bending machines, in strength testing machines, and subjected to compression and tension tests, and found to be more than acceptable. The test data is significant, even more significant. The use of hardwoods in structural products is in compliance with standard building code requirements. This certification, provided by the American Lumber Standards Committee for Structural Applications, is the first major step in having hardwoods accepted by various organizations such as the American Institute of Timber Construction and the American Association of State, Highway, and Transportation Officials. That step allows the use of hardwoods for bridges and other transportation-related construction. Design stresses for 7 hardwood species groupings have been developed by Dr. A.L. DeBonis of Wood Advisory Services. These design stresses were developed by using the American Society for Testing and Materials standard methods and are direct mirror images of those developed for softwoods. Grades, species, and species combinations, strength and stiffness values, and allowable unit stresses were developed for red maple, northern red oak, mixed maple, and mixed hardwoods. Given that there is a sufficient supply of hardwoods, the question does arise, why wood? You have a structural material that is, in most cases, more economical than concrete or steel. Lighter in weight, a consideration when you are, for example, putting in a new bridge deck and want to use the same abutments. It is stronger than steel, the same weight for given span lengths. Does not react to de-icing chemicals. Wood is remarkably fire resistant. Above all, the aesthetics of wood make it a desirable building material, a material that, once again, is a renewable resource. Let's look at some specific examples of construction using hardwoods. The Atlantic Boat Works, Atlantic, Pennsylvania, is using a building technique called timber framing. This building method, using a mortise and tenon joinery, was common until the advent of mass-produced housing. But now it's in use again, and with hardwoods. They have tied together old-style woodworking equipment to the modern concept of computer drafting and design. This timber framing, essentially a post and beam type construction, produces a durable, self-supporting frame. This self-support eliminates the need for load-bearing walls and produces a beautifully aesthetic product. Coons Lumber, Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, is a major supplier of hardwoods. The hardwood is treated just like any softwood. Debarked, trimmed, cut into boards, graded, kiln dried, stacked, and sent to customers all over the country. Need more? Hardwood bridges are being constructed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture in the Allegheny National Forest near Marionville, Pennsylvania, and in Greene County, Pennsylvania, using approved bridge plans and specifications. Hardwoods, accepted for all types of construction. Hardwoods, plentiful, aesthetic, cost-effective. Hardwood, anyone? The answer is yes. This program has been a cooperative effort of the U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service, Hardwood Lumber Manufacturers Association of Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation Rural Technical Assistance Program, the Timber Bridge Task Force, and the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Resources. Special thanks are tendered to the Bureau of Archives and History, Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission, to the Atlantic Boat Works in Atlantic, Pennsylvania, Coons Lumber in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, for their cooperation.